I know that nowadays it's kinda trendy to hate on everything that Zverev does, and some might think that people are simply piling onto him when it's not warranted, but holy shh. This guy has been on a run of doing some insufferable stuff these past 2 weeks. First, he cried about an interviewer correctly mentioning that he has been bad at the Masters tournaments this year. Then he, as the most passive player on the tour in the clutch moments, called out Lorenzo Musetti, and I say called out in quotation marks, for being too passive and depending on opponents' mistakes. And lastly, yesterday he lost to Alexandre Muller in 3 grueling sets at his hometown tournament, and after the match he explained this loss by saying that he threw out 37 times before the match and had a high fever. So it was basically a miracle that he even stepped foot on the court, and you know what, if that's the case then kudos to him, I guess, but let's be real, when you have been notorious for being an absolute dickhead who lacks any self-awareness whatsoever, it's hard to find any empathy towards him. Even if he did shit, piss, and threw up all over himself the night before the match. The guy genuinely had a chance to become the world #1 during the absence of Yannick Sinner, but instead of doing that, he became an even bigger excuse merchant than he ever was. And my question to any athlete who gives out excuses like this after they lose is, do you not understand that you make yourself look like a complete cock when you do that? Like, I haven't seen a situation when someone gives an excuse after a loss and everyone decides, yeah, you're a good buddy, you are definitely telling the truth and you are definitely not just a sore loser. But to be fair to Zverev, he is far from being the only one who does this. Like, this is probably my biggest pet peeve in tennis, cause so many players are guilty of it, even some of my favorites. And generally, I'm so tired of every loss of a top player being followed with, well, actually there was a problem with this, that or the other. Again, it just takes the fun out of anything and everything. If a lower ranked player beats a great opponent, it seems like he's simply not allowed to celebrate, cause if the opponent was compromised then the win didn't mean anything. If he beats that guy when he's healthy, then well, it wasn't at the Grand Slam. Then that guy does it at the Grand Slam, well, he didn't win the whole thing though, so he sucks. The constant shifting of the goalposts is absolutely insufferable. And listen, I can understand that sometimes it definitely is difficult to admit that you have absolutely fucked it, but come on, it's not always that hard to give credit to the winner. As I said in the previous video, the ATP Tour has been killed and nothing actually matters there anymore, so these losses don't mean a thing, which is why maybe it's time for players to simply accept their defeats and they should just take it easy, my friend.